Alright, guys, I got the news. I'm back to One Piece. Today, One Piece video will be recapping what happened post Arlong Park and Alabasta. Wait a second, I have to charge my computer. So, anyway, I'm gonna talk about mistakes I made from the earlier videos and get to the way because we're going from Arlong Park to Alabasta. We'll post Arlong Park. So, first thing, Buggy and Kuro, the defeats I put were wrong. Buggy didn't get shoplifting. I think he only had his legs and arms and head and got kicked. Kuro got gum belled. As a reason he got punched. So here's something else. All the characters that died did not die. None of them actually died. Here's another thing. This video is gonna get crazy. Now, let me explain what happened post Arlong Park. First thing, Luffy comes out with a 30 million berry bounty, 10 more than Arlong, and everybody like celebrating. They go to this thing called Log Town. So what's Log Town? Log Town is this thing where they're gonna get to like the Grand Line faster. So they reach Log Town. There's like this random stuff, and then we have this mid arc with like Buggy and Alvida. Buggy starts out with his crew, finds this woman called Alvida. She isn't even Alvida. She looks like this one woman. Actually, so fun fact, my aunt started watching this, my soon-to-be aunt started watching this show, and she said, I love Alvida so much. Well, if you're watching this, aunt, this is what's gonna be here. Yep. So, anyway, we have some other good news about that. So, besides that, so, anyway, they go to Logtown. There's some random episodes. There's one episode where Usopp's talking about his father and how this one bounty hunter guy, I don't think he's a bounty hunter, talks about how he met his Usopp's father. One episode where Luffy finds this guy named Smoker. He's like the villain of the arc. Then they find Buggy trying to find Luffy. Luffy is freaking invincible. Oh, there's one episode where Sanji's trying to cook against this Latina woman. Okay, I'm gonna be really honest. That's not. I don't think that's true. She just reminds me of that person. I'm sorry if it's not true. I am sorry, but 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 Latina women are beautiful. Okay. Anyway, I'm watching in this pretty cool episode, but don't forget, Sanji's a freaking simp. I hate him because of that. Anyway, after that, um, they find Smoke. They find Buggy. Buggy's gonna chop him because Luffy wants to see the big thing. He wants to see where Goldie Roger got executed. This is where it was, and he was so dumb to fall into Buggy's tricks. But then Buggy got electrocuted by lightning. Then they had like this storm. Smoker was chasing them. This guy with a coat, his name was Dragon, which is Luffy's father. He says, "You know what? I'm gonna save him." And Smoker's like, "No, no, I'm getting him." Yep, Longtown was a pretty crazy arc. I used to hate it because it was like a massive toll from Arlong Park. Like Arlong Park was the craziest arc in One Piece. I think that was actually a great arc. Easy the best of the first 100 episodes, but Alabasta is better. So after Arlong Park, after Logtown, there's this one arc called what's it called? It's called the Warship Island arc. It's with this one girl who had like a dragon with her, and she got like she got like in like this marine thing. It's a filler arc about stuff. But here's something that annoys me. By the end of the arc, Luffy asked this tiny girl who's like 7, "Do you want to join our crew?" I am glad she made the right decision. She would have been dead by Alabasta. I don't think that that's the dumbest request. Like with the other guy. What's that with the guy in the chest? There's like something I forgot. But anyway, that guy had more reason to be there. But this girl did not. And let's get back to the story. The gun is called Reverse Mountain, the shortest arc in One Piece history. That's all I need to say. Don't care what anybody else needs to say. And then they find this whale if like this owner guy, like who's in the whale, reminds me of Dragon Ball or something. You got this one woman and man that's like Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday. Just like Miss Wednesday is gonna be a big part of like the Alabasta saga, like the biggest part. So they find these two people. They get to the Grand Line. Like, you know what? We're gonna keep you. We're gonna drop you off at wherever you want to go. And then Miss Wednesday says, "We're going to Whiskey Peak." They go to Whiskey Peak. This is like they say, "All right, we love pirates," and they all like celebrating. They all and then the One Piece crew gets drunk in like about 3 hours. Zoro wakes up at like 3 a.m. What happens after that? Wait a second. I have to remember. Zoro wakes up. He sees like all the bounty hunters. Everybody's on, not is not on his side. Bro stops every single bounty hunter. This dude is gonna get a good foreshadowing at the end of this arc. Let you guys know it's a pretty good thing to say. But anyway, Zoro's happy about that. And then you find Luffy waking up. Well, Zoro's not even happy, but Luffy wakes up. They fight for random episode mount. Then they get on the ship again with Miss Wednesday now be called Vivi, not Mr. Non. Who's that guy? So so Miss Wednesday's real name is Vivi and she has a good lore. So let's move on with the lore of Kobe and Helmeppo. I called him Helmeppo. That's another mistake I made. I'm sorry, guys. But Helmeppo and Kobe, they're great. This is like this one arc where it's like Captain Morgan. Okay, that guy he was a jailbird and trying to stop him. I forgot what he did, but he escaped. But then they went on the Marines and found this guy named Garp. Another foreshadowing, gonna be one of the strongest guys in One Piece history. Actually, I've watched the live action. Bro's already in it. I was talking to my aunt about that, and she was like, "What?" But like, yeah. By the way, the live action's good for people. For me, it's okay. The Navy, the Kobe is there in Syrup Village. Like, we do not need that. Like, if they should have been there in the anime. Also, I hate when people say, "I've seen the live action, the anime, some secondary fake." Like, it's not like some adaptation. It's the actual thing. I'm so glad when I see people watch like the anime, stuff live action. Like people say like the live action anime. Chill for that. They just see the live action and act like that's like the main show. That annoys me to the core. So anyway, they go to Little Garden. What is this about? Oh, I forgot. This guy, his name's Dory. Yag 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 yag. This guy named Broggy. Yag mama mama mama. Those are the most random things I've ever said. These two giants. There's then there's these two people called Mr. Five and Miss Valentine's Day, and then Mr. Three, and then this Pan girl I hate so much. This arc feels so weird. So it starts out with like Zoro and Sanji gonna say, we're gonna find the craziest thing, fish, dinosaur, whatever. And then there's like they find these two giant like Luffy and Luffy, Nami, Usopp, Vivi, and who else? Yep, they're all seeing this like um these two giants. They both see each other, and they're both like pretty friendly, but they've been fighting for like thousands of years. So then Mr. Three comes in and so Mr. Three poisons one of the drinks. Dory drinks it, explodes. Then he fights Broggy. Then Dory supposedly dies. To Mr. Three again. But then Mr. Three and Luffy and everybody else fights Mr. Three. Then you got Zoro. They're stuck in this. Vivi, Nami, and Zoro stuck in this cake thing, and Zoro's like, if I'm gonna die, I guess I'm gonna be a statue. Vivi and I'm like, what are you doing? We need to get out of here. No, I'm gonna be stuck like this. I don't care. And that's pretty hilarious, to be honest. Especially the warning. This guy just has no care about what's going on. God, I'm so tired. I'm sweaty. But anyway, there's Mr. Three and Mr. Five, Miss Valentine's Day. so Zoro, Vivi, and Nami try to get out. Luffy tries to help, and then this painter girl puts like these spells on him to make him like, I would do it, but I can't. Like he's like betraying them. Like he does not care. But then and then Usopp stops her. And there's a fight. Then Zoro and Vivi and Nami come get out of the cake. There's a fire. Um, Mr. Five and Miss Valentine's Day, Mr. Three gets destroyed. And Dorian Broggy, then Dorian just comes back alive. Broggy's happy. Then there's Sanji. He just comes this like igloo thing. He's like calling like people. He's like calling this one guy. It's like, welcome to the Crab Cafe. Then it's like, stop being this silly thing. And I'm not gonna say because it's a swear, but like whatever. So like they're like he's pretty mad. Then Sanji just finds this like map of Alabasta. And Alabasta, let me get onto Alabasta. Alabasta is where these like things like the Baroque works. Where they're little like things that want to stop. And Alabasta's a big thing because there's a guy named Crocodile with Mr. Zero, which foreshadowing Sanji was actually calling Mr. Zero, and he wants to cause this war against the rebel army and the royal army, which is like Vivi side, the royal army and the rebel army. We'll get on to more of that later on. But anyway, after the little garden arc, Sanji finally reveals everything. Says, "I got an Alabasta map," and then they leave. Dory Broggy also see this massive fish about to eat them, and they crush them. Oh, that's the good enough arc. What's next? The Drum Island arc. Okay, what's it about? Cold, winter, big island. A group of Blackbeard pirates stop this thing in 30 seconds. This one guy gets shot. There's a guy that eats a pirate ship. There's everything. And oh yeah, there's this 141 doctor and a reindeer. Let's check one. Chopper. I love Chopper. He's like the underrated mascot. And Chopper is like this reindeer learned because he had like this guy named Hero Look. It was like it, and Hero Look, like he tried to save his life, but Chopper actually gave Hero Look the poisonous mushroom, and then Hero Look dies. Well, he just drank some like explosive water. But then there's Wapple in like the castle. So Wapple is this guy who eats like crazy stuff. Luffy, Sanji, and Chopper are like fighting them. So then Nami's sick. Oh yeah, Nami was sick this entire time, so they had to find a doctor. And then Luffy was like, "Come on, Chopper, join our crew, join our crew. It's gonna be awesome." But so really, Chopper wants his Doctor Hero look to be like to find cherry blossom trees. So after Luffy defeats Wapple, they leave. But then magically, cherry blossoms are everywhere. That's the end of the arc. Pretty good 14 episodes. I do not feel as long as Arlong Park, even though the amount of same time. Tell you that arc was actually pretty underrated. Like I actually think the older arcs when I first saw them they were horrible, but after a little while they weren't too bad. Definitely recommend them to be a bit better, but still not too bad. Oh my god, I'm like sweating everywhere. Alright, we're back. So anyway, this is where the start of Alabasta, the greatest One Piece arc so far. High skies, low seas, straight for Alabasta. This arc is 40 episodes long. I don't want to hear people saying, well, then Arlong Park is like lost to life. Yep, pretty much. So they get to Alabasta. They find this guy who like changed faces. His name's Bond Clay Mr. Two. We have to wait for him. Mr. Two's really important to the story. And then they just go to Alabasta. Everybody is like, oh, okay, just normal day. There's a crocodile. So everyone loves crocodile, even though I don't know what he's doing. And also, I'm massively scared right now for no reason. Okay, why am I feeling terrified? What's wrong with me? What's going on? Okay, I'm joking. So anyway, they find like this crocodile guy, and crocodile has like a horrible backstory about how like he wants to stop Vivi, like this guy named King Cobra from everything, to create everything, and he's like pretty bad, worse than Arlong. And then there's like this his partner named Nico Robin or Miss Sunday or whatever her name is. I tell you, she was the worst character ever in the in Alabasta. She had a little bit of character, but anyway, there's multiple stuff. They cross the desert. There's Karoo, which is like or Kadu or something. Karoo is Vivi's pet duck. Karoo is a beautiful thing. I actually didn't know his name was Karoo. I thought it was Kadu because it just sounded like that. But the Karoo is a cool guy. But it's a duck. So they find this camel named Eyelash. They go with stuff, and then there's then oh my goodness, I forgot something. Luffy found this guy with like dance powers like create rain, but there's not that much rain anywhere else but the crocodile. He barely gets rain for obvious reasons. I don't need to explain. Well, it's basically spoiling but foreshadowed. It is pretty important to crocodile. So they find like so they go through a desert. They find the desert pirates. The desert pirates is the most boring filler. That's like the second filler we've seen from that Warship Island much earlier in the video. Yes, Warship Island was horrible once again, but then again, the desert pirates wasn't too bad. They say goodbye to desert pirates. They find and then oh yeah, don't forget Ace is here. Oh my goodness, I love Ace so much. I hope he doesn't die. No, it can't be. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But anyway, Ace is like Luffy's brother. I am missing so much. The plot is everywhere. Let me try to remember everything. So Ace is like this guy, this fire fruit, is like something. What's it called? Like the flame fruit, flame fruit. So they find this crab, they stop him, and then Ace, she's like this rebel army fake. My mom was coming in for a minute. Don't worry, my mom's. I like my daughter's mom. Yeah, I love you, mom. But anyway, Ace right here is like he's. What's it called? Once again, I love you, mom. Why am I saying that randomly? Anyway, Ace is he's like so he just gets water. They're like, no, we're scared, and like there's like fans, and but then the Straw Hats come and they're like, we're fake, but we were not gonna die. They defeat him, and Luffy the crew realize they're good people, so they leave. And then all the entire fans are like, yay! And then Ace leaves too. Great arc, great Luffy pirates. Go, go, go. Good job. So then we're gonna have like some stupid backstory about Pell. This guy named Pell. It's like a bird thing. I'm just gonna bring that up because there's something more about him later on. So after that, they go like to the straw like they go to like they start going and everywhere. They go to this place called Yuba. They meet. Then there's the introduction of Mr. One, Mr. Two, Mr. One and Miss Doublefinger, Mr. Four and Miss Merry Christmas. They're all gonna be important. Then there's like a meeting with Crocodile. Mr. Three comes back. He gets thrown into to a banana gator. Crocodile's like, we're gonna do this. The Straw Hat Pirates come in, and then the Smoker. Smoker also was here for some random reason. Bro wants to find Luffy. He heard the call. You know what? We're gonna go find Luffy. And then there's that Luffy and Tashigi. Tashigi's that one annoying girl that Zoro was like, you know what? No, nope, nope, no. He was like talking during lockdown. I'm missing so much. My brain is messed up. Don't get mad at me. I'm just a kid. I don't really know what I'm doing right now. So anyway, Luffy is like, okay. He tries to get out. The water's rising. Crocodile leaves. And then there's Miss Nico Robin. Sanji comes back, checks a banana gator to get the key. They they leave, and then Luffy fights Crocodile, gets dehydrated, and you won't see him for another 10 episodes. So anyway, while the other crew goes fights, Usopp and Chopper find Mr. Ford and Miss Merry Christmas. It's a pretty hard arc. It's with this dog. They're playing baseball. They're gonna whack, 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 whack. It's like crazy. It's crazy. And anyway, Usopp gets hit with the bat, and then there's like the mole. Miss Merry Christmas and a mole trying to attack. They're not stopping here. Whack, whack, whack. Mole, mole, mole. Dig, dig, dig. No, don't hit me. Everyone's like hurt. Then you got Miss Merry Christmas getting tricked by Chopper himself. She gets hit with a massive baseball bat that sends her to the sky, bleeding, and then Usopp hits Mr. Four. Then they're both gone. Sanji versus Bon Clay. Mr. Two, let's go, let's go. Mr. Two fighting crazy. Sanji doing the crazy face. But since Sanji's a simp, of course, um, Bon Clay's gonna change his face, and then Sanji's gonna be like, "Oh, you're so cute." Like, it goes on like Mr. Bon Clay can become, like woman, and Sanji's a simp. Oh, don't forget, Sanji was like, I don't even need to explain it, but like, bro was like, I don't even. Okay, I'm not gonna explain it. This is something like low key weird, but anyway, Bon Clay, Sanji realizes the tactic. He destroys Bon Clay, but Bon Clay's happy about it. Then there's Nami versus Miss Doublefinger. Nami has this power from Usopp. It's like a water air. New intro, by the way, pretty fire intro. There's actually another intro early in the show when I started this video. It was It was okay, but this new intro 3 is awesome. Luffy, stopped everything. No, no, no. What am I saying? So Nami stopped Miss Doublefinger with like tornado control. Cause like pretty horrible. Then she realized like moisture and heat and becomes tornado. Pretty good, pretty good. And Zoro versus Mr. One. So Mr. One had like these chop powers, where it's like dice fruit. He could like have like anything be like you know sharp stuff. So he hits Zoro once, and Zoro didn't realize it. But then he learned a lesson from his teacher. Told him, Zoro, use your sword and cut steel. Bro cut steel like that, defeated him. Yep, it was like cutting steel for him. And after that, Luffy finally comes back. The rebel war started back, and then like V said, you know what, Koza, this one guy is like pretty important to the story. Koza raised a white flag. There's like a palace explosion they're gonna do in like minutes, which are only episodes later. It's gonna be crazy. It's like episode 125. Luffy tries to fight Crocodile again. He loses, but he did pretty well the second time because he knows it. Since Crocodile's a sand fruit guy, he's like he can't touch water obviously since Delphi, but like Luffy can touch water, but he can't swim in it. So he knew his weakness. So Luffy gets rehydrated, but then Luffy will fight Crocodile again later. So now we got to worry about the bombing, the palace bombing, and I'm trying to stop it. Luffy is like running, gonna go into this temple since like Crocodile was trying to go like Pluton or something, and like Cobra's like, there's nothing like that. And then bro trying to decode like the things in the temple said, and then Nico Robin's like, there's nothing there. I told you there's nothing there. And then Crocodile fights Luffy again. Luffy this time has blood. It's a good battle, but then Luffy punches Crocodile out of the temple into the sand, and they stop. Then their palace bombing support. They stop it, but the bomb. They stop the bomb, but it's an automatic bomb anyway. And then there's pellets. This guy's deploring. He stops the bomb and explodes. May your servants be with you. Or so we thought. Later on, I think he said he came back later on. But anyway, they're all well reunited. Luffy's sleeping. Bro's awake. Bro eats all his food. They have like this dinner thing. Then there's freaking in a speech about Vivi talking about it. You stuff with like Eagerom. Eagerom was this one guy. Why do I miss so many characters? I'm really hating on the live action characters. I'm missing so many characters to explain. Nobody even watched these videos, but Eagerom like just acts like Vivi because a cross dresser type stuff. Vivi sees the Straw Hats. They're like, nope. But then they do this thing that's called the famous. Have you seen that thing? It's like the meme where it's like that. That might have been a face reveal, but they were like doing this. That's famous. They're back, and then just doing this. Like that's famous in history. I've seen it so many times. With like the famous like stuff, and then they leave. But then Bon Clay reunites. They fight. They have a marine ship with Django the Hypnotist and freaking Full Body. Remember those guys? And then Smoker and Tashigi like people saying, "You defeated Crocodile." And it's like, no, we did not. And then Luffy and Zoro get a bounty, another bounty. Luffy gets 100 million berries now. Zoro gets the 60 million. Because remember the Whiskey Peak? Yeah, Whiskey Peak was real for him. So they finally stopped the battle. They finally stopped everything. But, they stopped it all. Crocodile got busted. Like, they didn't realize that the Crocodile did this all. Crocodile was gone. And impelled down, probably. And then Vivi says goodbye. She said we needed everything fit. They show like Alabasta and everything. And then Nico Robin just joins on the crew, and everybody satisfied except Zoro. But then that's where it ends off. And then Palik says, "I think I didn't die. I think that was it. That was the video. I'm done making these videos. It took there's a week ago. It delayed. Goodbye."